Welcome, everyone. My name is Sarah Reef. I am the chair of CLA's Health and Wellness Committee. As many of you may know, we are in the midst of our January Wellness Challenge, and we are hosting weekly events as part of that challenge. And we are so very lucky for this week's event to be Carolyn Martin. Carolyn Martin is a personal wardrobe stylist for business professionals in Los Angeles and everywhere else. She helps her clients by eliminating the time and stress of shopping, discovering their personal style, and building confidence through their wardrobe. Carolyn believes that style is a form of self-expression and communication. So Carolyn, I'm going to send it over to you and just let everyone know that I will be monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions, I will present them to Carolyn during her presentation. So welcome, Carolyn. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And just so you all know, I would love to make this interactive, so feel free to share your questions in the chat. I know a couple of you mentioned maybe you're in your room, near your closet. So as I'm presenting, if you're discovering some things about your own wardrobe, feel free to share that with us. So we can make this really fun, and I'm not just talking at you for an hour. But I have a really great presentation. So let me pull this up for you. Okay. So welcome to Wardrobe Wellness. And as Sarah mentioned, I am a personal stylist for business professionals in Los Angeles and beyond. So I work with my clients in person here in LA, across California, and then virtually outside of California as well. I have been working in fashion for about 10 years, and I've spent the last 6 years styling men and women specifically. And just to reiterate, I do believe fashion is a form of communication and self-expression. Through our clothing, we are communicating how we want to be perceived. So how I dress is me telling you, this is how I want you to view me. I want you to see me as a professional, etc. A fun fact about me, I am a veteran and now a wardrobe stylist. So for all of you who did not take a linear path through your career, I commend you. I was in the Ohio Army National Guard for 7 years, and that is what helped me get through design school to be where I am today. Okay. Today in Wardrobe Wellness, we're going to focus on decluttering your closet, because we want fewer, better things in your wardrobe. The fewer choices that you have that are all the right choices is what you want to have in your closet. We're also going to talk about how you can curate your very own boutique. So how you can merchandise your closet so that it represents your personal style, it feels inspiring, and you get excited to get dressed every day and feel very confident. And we're also going to discover your personal style. So we're going to find, what are your favorite things that really light you up when you put them on? Why is it? What pieces make you feel really, really confident when you wear them? And there might be some items that you're missing that can really transform your wardrobe and give you so many different outfits and just a little bit more variety so that you feel excited to get dressed. And our goals for today is, as I mentioned, get inspired by your own closet. You want to love each piece in your wardrobe. So if there's something in there that you've been wearing over and over, it feels tired, we don't need that in there. I want you to be able to get dressed in less time. And that goes back to having fewer, better pieces. You want to have the pieces that are all the right choices, not just some pieces that are okay. We don't need okay. We need the right pieces so you feel good about every item that you put on. And again, it's all about feeling confident, because confident is going to shine through. If you feel good inside, you're going to stand taller, you're going to present yourself better. And a lot of that comes to how we dress ourselves and, show up for our job, for our personal life. So we're going to start in our closet and decluttering our closet to get there. So to prepare for your closet edit, you want to make sure you have a few supplies. And first, you want to make sure all your clothes are out of the laundry, because we want to see everything. And make sure to take your before photos, because there's nothing better than side-by-side satisfaction before and after. A couple of things that you'll need are just some sticky notes or a notepad so you can take notes about things. I really, really recommend having matching hangers in your closet. You will be surprised at what a difference it makes when all of your shirts and all of your jackets hang at the same angle and at the same levels. Having the same colored hangers looks really, really beautiful. And then it's nice to have cedar blocks. It's nice to have lavender or something to keep your clothing smelling and feeling fresh, and free from any little critters that might try to get in there. And 4, we're going to need some working space. So as we're going through your closet, you're going to make some piles, your keep piles, your retire pile, which is a nice way of saying throw away. You're going to have a donation pile. And then the last pile will be things that need to either go to the tailor or to the dry cleaners. And the last step to preparing is separating your wardrobe into categories. Now, this is important because it's going to help you dive in without feeling overwhelmed. A lot of people have trouble starting this process because it feels just so overwhelming. But if you start with one category, like say you start with your jackets or your blazers, then you can bite it off in chunks and, do it over the span of a month, do it over a span of a week, whatever you have the time to do, that doesn't feel like overwhelm. Okay, so choose a category. The example I will choose is jackets and blazers. I always like to start from there. And you're going to pull all of those items from that category out of your closet. And you're going to pick up each item one by one and ask yourself a series of questions. And when you're asking those questions, it's going to go into one of those 4 piles that we made. So let's move to the next slide. And here you have your 4 categories: keep, tailor, dry cleaner, donate, and retire. So we're going to keep the items that you've worn in the last 12 months or plan to wear in the next 12 months. We can put a little asterisk by this because life has changed and, we may not be going back in the office as often as we thought. So it's important to consider, even though your lifestyle has changed right now, in the next 12 months, it might kind of go back to whatever, was normal. So keep in mind, if it's not something that you've worn in the last year because of COVID, it might be something that you wear soon. So don't just totally disregard. An item must be in good condition to keep it. If it's not in good condition, then it either needs to be replaced or just move into the retire pile altogether. It must fit well. And we want the item to represent your personal style. A lot of people have gone through changes in their life in the last couple of years. We've had a lot of time to think about who we are as individuals. We've had a lot of time to, adjust how we want to present ourselves. So think about what pieces you love, what pieces feel like they represent you. And those are the items that you want to keep in your wardrobe. And lastly, we want to keep the things we're excited to wear. So those are all this is the description of the items that you're going to keep. Anything that fits that description, except maybe it doesn't fit you all that well. Maybe you've lost or gained a little weight and there's an opportunity for a tailor to make that fit better. That's going to move into the tailor pile. If it has, a small rip or tear or stain on it, this goes into the dry clean and tailor pile as well. And I really strongly encourage you to put it in this pile and make sure that happens within that week that you've done it, because otherwise it will easily get pushed to the side and that chore will not get done. So when you do decide to do this, make a trip to the tailor and dry cleaner part of your task that week. So things that will move into the donation pile are anything that you just don't see yourself wearing again in the next year or two. It's in good condition, but it just doesn't represent your personal style, or maybe it feels tired to you. So essentially, this is an item that someone else can enjoy and has only been gently worn. So we'll put that in the donation pile. And then the last pile, if it's beyond repair, it does not fit you, you're not excited to wear it, we're retiring, it's getting out of here. Okay, this is a really, really great resource for you. And I will be, we'll be emailing the wardrobe checklist to you after the presentation. But what this is a guideline. It is not a rule. Fashion has no rules. Fashion has guidelines. And this is a great resource for you to check off as you're going through your wardrobe and going through each category. A lot of the items in here will build a solid foundation. And foundation pieces are great because think of them like a basic that you can mix and match and wear in all different types of ways. And this will really help you build a solid wardrobe so that you can have lots of different outfits.
Carolyn, one of the questions in the chat is, are there places for recycling retired clothing?
Yes, there are, and different brands offer that. So I don't have that information on the top of my head right now. So I'll do a little bit of diving in, and maybe we can get that information to you guys too, because that would be a really great ad for the pieces that are not able to be donated.
Right. And it does look like a couple of people have posted. There is one in downtown LA, and maybe we'll get some information posted in the chat too. And there is another question. Is there a suggestion on where to donate lightly worn business suits?
I like to take all of my donations to the Mission downtown, and I can include that address as well.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Another great resource for, you can also sell clothes. So say it's been gently worn and you want to sell it. Maybe it's designer, or maybe it's even just mid-level. Two of my favorite places are the RealReal. They can be fairly strict on what designers and what items they take. Another fantastic resource is ThredUp. Great for selling, great for shopping. They take a lot of brands like Anthropologie and J. Crew. So those are two really good places if you want to resell some items, or if you want to purchase gently used items. Another thing that I want to highlight as well, if you guys are taking notes, this is a great note to take. For men and women, there are 7 wardrobe essentials. So if you don't have a lot of these pieces on the checklist, this is where I would start. One being a leather or vegan leather jacket for women, and for men, either a bomber jacket or a suede jacket. The number 2 item is a blazer. So this is like a casual sport coat that you can either wear back to trousers and dress it up, or you can wear it with jeans and make it slightly more casual. The 3rd item would be a white shirt. And it could be a crisp white shirt, or for women, if you prefer like something a little bit more drapey, like a silky white blouse, that's a great option, because again, you can make so many outfits with this, back to a trouser, dress it up, or dress it down back to some jeans. And the 4th item would be dark jeans. For men and women, a great pair of dark wash jeans. And this can be whatever silhouette is most complementary to your body. So whether it is straight leg, slim leg, skinny, you do what is best for your body type and what you're most comfortable in. The 5th item would be a leather white sneaker. I'm sure all of you are familiar and have been seeing them all over. Great place to wear even with dressing down a suit, but you can wear it back to your jeans and a t-shirt. Super versatile item. And the number 6 would be a white t-shirt. And this is a nice high-end white t-shirt that you could even wear under a blazer. And the last item for these 7 essentials would be the nude pump for women, and a dress shoe for men, a brown dress shoe. And what I would say about the nude pump is a lot of us aren't interested in wearing heels anymore. And there's not quite as many opportunity to wear heels. So what I would say about that is, if it's not a nude pump for you, it could be something like a nude loafer or a nude flat, whatever makes most sense for your lifestyle and your comfort. Okay, so as you're going through your wardrobe and you're starting with one category, let's say we started with jackets, you're going through each item asking those series of questions. Does it get me excited to wear it? Is it in good condition? Does it fit well? It is important for you to take any notes that you're kind of discovering. And we also want to think about how each item is making you feel. So we're going to take notes on all the good stuff. So which item out of these pieces from this category do you wear most often? Why are you wearing it most often? Does it make you feel really confident? Do you love yourself in this color? Is it just comfortable? Maybe that's the fabric that you like. And it could be flattering. Just pay attention to what it is that you love and why you love it, because this is the stuff that we want to add more of. And this is the place where you can really highlight your personal style. And we're also going to take notes on the not so good stuff. So what are the pieces that you're not wearing and why are you not wearing it? Maybe your lifestyle has changed. A lot of it has changed for us. Maybe your personal style has changed. And what you used to love, like a great structured blazer, now you prefer softer, drapier, more comfortable fabrics. That's really important for you to really acknowledge so that when you're shopping for yourself in the future, you know what you're going to wear most often. You might find that you're getting rid of something because you loved it, but you've just worn it to death. That's really good to highlight because you want to know, why did you love this piece so much? Why do you always pull this piece? Is it because you don't have enough of the style? Is it just because you love everything about it and you need more like that? Maybe you've lost or gained some weight. It's important to figure out what your proper size is so that you can, as you're shopping and filling in the future, you can make sure you're buying the right pieces. So that might be trying on, if you have jeans in different sizes, trying on those jeans and figuring out which one is the best and making note of that. And a lot of times we might hold on to things that once fit us in the past, or, you know, it's an aspirational size and we're hoping to lose weight and eventually get into that size. My recommendation is to not hold on to those things because it might just be a reminder of the past. And we're not concerned about a reminder of the past. We're focused on the future. We're focused on pieces that make you feel really good here and now. So unless it's something that you're actually going to get into within the next 6 months, I say, let it go. If it's items that are really sentimental and they're super special to you, there is absolutely a place in your wardrobe to keep those sentimental pieces. You know, we don't want 10 sentimental pieces, but there's absolutely places for you to hold on to, you know, your wedding suit or your wedding gown, you know, an item that your firstborn wore in his first pictures. Like, those are things that have a place in your wardrobe for sure. Okay, so at this point, you've gone through each category. You've put each item into the pile that it needs to be in, whether it's your keep pile, your donate, your tailor, or retire pile. And moving into curate, we're now going to talk about how you put things back in your closet and how to make it feel really special and inspiring. So we want to focus on making space. So you might find that some areas in your closet are really cluttered and feel really tight. Eliminate anything that you don't need. So what that means is if you've got sweaters piled up 8 high in your shelf and you can barely get to them, you have too many sweaters there. We really don't want the sweaters to be piled or t-shirts to be piled more than 4 or 5, because once it does get higher than that, it's challenging to navigate through them. It's challenging to pull out the bottom one. So we really want to focus on only having what you need. Some of those items can either go in storage or we need to make space for them somewhere else. And just be creative. The way that you've always organized your closet may not be the most efficient or the most logical. So keep an open mind as you're putting things back and be open to organizing your closet in different ways. Some other ideas of making space is moving non-seasonal items into storage, or infrequently worn items can either go into storage, or those pieces should be moved to the back of your closet or the harder places to reach.
Your husband's closet.
Your husband's closet. There you go. That's a great recommendation. So think about the things that you wear most often. Probably your tops, maybe sweaters at this time of year. You want those to be the easiest to access, front and center, because that's where you're going to be reaching for most. The things that you're rarely wearing, put them closer to the further in the back, or the space that is not prime real estate. And I also recommend you can follow some professional organizers on Instagram or whatever platform you use. Organized by Ellis is one of my favorite organizers to follow. You can get a lot of really creative ideas on how to organize your space to make sense and to just create some more opportunity for you. Okay, this is one of my favorite parts. We're going to beautify your closet. So as you're putting things away, if they have wrinkles, steam the wrinkles out. Maybe some of you don't have a steamer. Maybe you just have an iron. My recommendation is to get a steamer because it heats up in 60 seconds or less, and it is so quick and fast to steam something hanging on a hanger. I can't remember the last time I used an iron. I don't like using an iron. Too much is involved. It takes up too much space and it's kind of a pain. And I promise you, if you get a steamer, you will be steaming all of your clothes. Even it just can bring a little bit of life to sweaters. So the wrinkles fall out super easy. Highly recommend.
Carolyn, do you have a specific steamer or what maybe we should look for in a steamer?
If you go to Amazon and you type in handheld steamer, there's a Conair one that comes up that's probably the most popular. And you can get a lot of different options based upon what your budget is, and also by looking at all the reviews. But there's one that I think it's the first one that pops up is the one that I recommend. But this is also some information that I can share with the follow-up email.
Great. And then this is a question I had as well, and maybe not at this point, but put it in your question bank about how best to store purses or handbags.
Yeah. And we can address that now.
Perfect. Thank you.
So when you're not using a handbag for a while, if it's not stuffed with anything, it will kind of fall and get slouchy. And then when you go to try to wear it, it's going to keep that slouchy look. So I recommend if you're putting your handbags away, stuff them either with tissue paper. You can stuff it with a small pillow, depending on how big your handbag is. There are actually brands that sell specifically pillows for handbags, and you can buy them in different sizes and get, small, medium, and large ones. But that can be stuffed with anything that makes sense for you. I don't recommend putting things in plastic. You want things to breathe. So handbags often come with a cotton dust cover. That's the best way to store it, inside the dust cover, stuffed, so it remains, keeps the integrity of its shape. So after you steam out the wrinkles, hang all items on matching hangers. I addressed this before. It will make such a world of difference. It seems like a small adjustment, but it really, really transforms how your closet hangs, because now all the shoulders are aligned. It looks really wonderful. Number 3, place all clothing and hangers in the same direction. That will also have things just hang really beautifully. And number 4 is kind of going back to make space. You're going to group by category, if that makes most sense for you, and arrange by logic. So what are the items you reach for most? What are you wearing almost every single day? We want that to be front and center and easiest for you to reach. I also like to, if you have 2 bars, the top one will be your tops and your jackets, and the bottom bar can be your, pants, and potentially skirts, whatever is either folded over or can hang. And number 5, this is where things can get really fun and you can make a really big difference. Display some personal touches in your closet. So if you have a shelf or you have a dresser with some tabletop space, add a framed photo to the shelf. You know, maybe it's a picture of your family, your dog, a picture of yourself that you love. You can also highlight your favorite handbag or a beautiful hat box. Maybe you want to display your favorite heels that you haven't worn in a couple years because you love them, they're a piece of art, and you want to see them. So this photo on the left, I really love how you can see how they've highlighted a pair of shoes. They also highlight a handbag. At the top, there are just some really nice looking shopping bags. That could be a hat box, whatever it is that you can display that looks beautiful. It feels like a boutique. You know, this is just a great opportunity for you to create something that makes you feel inspired.
So Carolyn, quickly, Betty is asking whether or not you recommend plastic on clothes that are not being worn during that season. Say like maybe you went and got everything dry cleaned after the winter's over. Do you keep them in the plastic or not?
It would be better if they need to be in plastic to not get dusty. I recommend taking that plastic off and putting them in a garment bag, because a garment bag is going to be made of a more breathable fabric than the plastic. So it's just not the best. It would be better to put them in a garment bag if you need them to be dust free, if they're not going to be worn for some time.
Okay. Great. And then the next question, there's lots of them coming.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. How to best store leather jackets or bags, basically to protect them from moths or other things?
Yeah. The best way to store them, again, is going to be in a garment bag. A leather jacket is likely going to be fine if you're wearing it, but if it's not getting worn, then again, put it in a garment bag to protect it from dust. If you notice that some of your leather is drying out, take it to a leather professional so that they can condition it and make sure it just stays really nice and beautiful and lasts a long time. I think I've had a leather jacket for 5 years. I've never needed to condition it. So that's if you start noticing that things are drying out and cracking, but it's probably a very old leather jacket. If you do see that, but leather conditioner will help that.
Okay. And I've got another one. What about original shoe boxes? Do we keep them or do we ditch them?
So that is going to be a personal preference. Sometimes it looks nice to have the shoe boxes, but they're not easy to access. And you also can't really see what's inside them. Well, you can't see what's inside them. So unless you have each box memorized, a better option is to get the clear plastic containers, and you can put your shoes in there. Or what other people have done is taken like Polaroid photos or taken a picture on your phone and printed it out and put it on the box so you know what's inside. For me, I like to reach for my shoes and put them on quickly. So I don't put them in boxes. I don't keep them in shoe boxes or clear boxes unless it's my heels and my pumps that I unfortunately probably haven't worn in, about a year. So that's my recommendation. Any other questions?
I think I'm caught up for now. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. These are all great questions. So after you have put your wardrobe back together, you want to remember to take your after photo. And this is where your wellness challenge comes into play. We would love to see all of your before and after photos. You can share those, hashtag CLA Wellness Challenge. You can tag me if you want. I'd love, love, love to see all of your work as you guys go through and really declutter your closet and put it back together in a way that feels really beautiful and inspiring.
That's a super fun idea. And I hope some of you do that, because I would love to see and get that own inspiration from everyone else for your before and afters. One of the questions is hangers. Do you have a specific brand of or a favorite of hangers that you would recommend?
Yes, I like the black velvet slimline hangers. And I can send you guys a link to that as well. You can get them at Container Store. You can also get them at Bed Bath & Beyond. You can find them on Amazon, whatever is your preferred place to shop. I like that because things won't slip off. The velvet keeps things kind of tactile and stay in place. And if you're a petite man or woman and maybe you buy a lot of extra smalls, they actually make petite size hangers. So that way you don't feel like it's stretching the shoulder seams out. Or sometimes if, everything in your closet is an extra small, it could be hard to get the hanger, through the neckline or whatever. And a petite size hanger just makes a little bit more sense. Any other questions? Did I answer that?
You did. That's great.
Okay,
and
great.
Then there is another question. Is there an estimate of approximately how long this would take, sort of starting from, categorizing to our beautification?
It depends on your closet and how many clothes you have. And it also depends on if you are doing a purge and you feel like you have a lot to get rid of, it may take you longer. I have done closet edits in 2 hours. I've also done over 8 hours. But the time where it took me 8 hours to do someone's closet, she had a very, very full closet with a lot of items. So it really depends. And it depends on how invested you want to be in it as well. So if you feel like you don't have a lot of time, again, start with just one category at a time. And if you're only able to do a couple categories, do that for your wellness challenge. Whatever is digestible to you and makes you feel good and accomplished, that's what you should focus on.
Okay. They're coming rapid fire, Carolyn.
Love it.
So one of the questions was, now of course, so many of us are on Zoom. Do you have any suggestions or tips for dressing on camera, like as far as colors potentially, or what, sort of garments to wear that look best? And then there's another question about any suggestions for whole closet redos.
Okay. I think we should save the Zoom call. This is a fantastic question, but I think we should save that for the end.
Perfect.
And then the question about if you are going to do a total revamp of your closet, you could hire me if you'd rather some support along the way. But if it's feeling overwhelming to you, just take it in chunks. It's just like any other large task that you have, break it down into chunks, and make sure you have space to put things into piles. And so as you're working, you can be effective and really think about how you feel and what places things need to go in. I hope that answers your question, but if not, maybe you can be a little bit more specific.
And we will be, we've got Carolyn's information on our website, and we will be sending out her contact information and a follow-up email to this presentation as well. So you can reach out to her for her assistance in this matter. As she said, she can be hired to help us, which sounds amazing and wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, because I don't want to do this myself. And a couple of people have asked about scarves, how they should be organized, and shawls, things like that. And then how many maybe we should have, because it seems like we've accumulated a lot of those over the years and maybe we've got too many.
Yeah. So you can store your scarves either folded in a drawer, or if you like to wear, I know some people like to pair a patterned scarf specifically with, a certain jacket. If it makes sense to you to hang it with that jacket so that you remember to wear it, that's an option. If it's a really beautiful scarf and you love the colors and patterns, maybe that's one of the items that you highlight as like your personal touch in your closet. But for me, I recommend folding them and placing them either in a shallow box or a shallow drawer so that when you open it, you can see all of them and you don't have to dig into them. To address your question about how many you need, this goes for essentially any item in your wardrobe. And that's a big question. Like, how many dress shirts do I need? How many pants do I need? Think about how many times per week you wear that item and how many times do you want to wash that item? So if we're talking about dress shirts, it would be smart to have, if a man or a woman is only wearing dress shirts every single day to work, that means you need 5 a week. You probably don't want to go to the dry cleaner like every single week. Or if you go to the dry cleaner every single week, you're going to give them 5 shirts, but you want your 5 shirts at home for the following week so that you can have that 2-week rotation. So think about your scarves. How many days a week or how many times a month are you wearing scarves? And how often do you want to rotate between them? So if you're only wearing, 1 scarf a week and you don't want to wear the same scarf again, until the next month, maybe have 4 scarves. If you wear scarves all the time and you wear them twice a week, maybe have 5 to 8 scarves. So that's a good way to think about it. How many times a week are you wearing this item and how many rotations of that item do you want? So hopefully that's helpful in answering. There's never a hard answer that every man or woman should have X number of scarves because we're all different. And some people get cold. Some people are more just run hot. Some people don't like having things around their neck. So a lot of it comes down to personal preference and how many times you wear that item. So I hope that's helpful. I know it's not.
Oh, sorry.
I'm finished.
Okay, we've got a couple. So someone is actually doing a complete remodel, putting in a walk-in closet, making a walk-in closet.
Exciting.
So any suggestions like Alpha, California closets, for actually the build out?
So I've actually gotten a lot of organizers have said that it's best to hire an organizer to help you design your closet. Because sometimes when you go to California Closet, there might be, cookie cutter things and they don't know exactly what you own. So they might not be organizing the closet specifically to what you own. They might just be recommending based upon like the size of your closet. So if you are interested in hiring an organizer is helpful to come in and see everything that you own and then help in the process of designing the closet. But as far as like different custom closets, I'm most familiar with California closets, but I don't have a particular one that I prefer.
Thank you. That makes great sense because, someone might have a lot of shoes, right? And so a closet that would, fit shoes or something like that, or a lot, different kinds of pieces. So I think that makes really good sense.
Sometimes what people find, they get their custom closets done and then they have drawers that are this deep. So then they can't use half of the drawer because they don't want to stack 20 t-shirts or 8 sweaters and you can't see them. So that's why I sometimes recommend hiring an organizer to come and see what you own and what you have and designing the closets with you.
And on that note, I do have a question is posed whether you travel outside of LA, but still sort of within that area to do a closet edit in person. Is that something that you offer?
Absolutely. So I have clients in San Diego and all the way as far north as San Francisco that I've I work with in person.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Maybe we should move on. Do we have more questions that are coming through?
I am moving through the chat right now because they are coming. I'm just making sure I'm getting, okay, let's see. Hanging slacks. That's a question. Should we be using a specialty hanger for slacks, or does that matter?
It doesn't matter what type of hanger you use to hang your slacks. If you have the space to hang them full length without folding, that's wonderful because now you have one less thing to steam or iron. If you don't have the space and you have to fold your slacks, which I think is more common, fold them over a hanger. The velvet hangers will be great in being tactile and keeping them from slipping off. Another hanger that I think is great is it doesn't have one side. So it's only shaped like this and you can slip your pant on. That's just a quick and easy, another hanger that people really seem to love.
And do you go as far as the Long Beach area? That's one of the questions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm in Venice, so Long Beach is not far from me.
Okay, great. All right. I think I'm caught up.
Okay. So we're going back to the process, and what we've just done is we've gone through all of our different categories. We've decluttered. We've put together this beautiful boutique. So now we're feeling really inspired. Everything that is staying in our closet, we love, we're excited to wear. And now we're going to move into discovering our personal style. And we're going to create a vision board. So you can use whatever platform works for you. A lot of people love Pinterest. Instagram, if that's a platform you're a little bit more familiar with, there's a save option and you can essentially create the same thing through Pinterest. However, you're more limited to only discovering images from Instagram when you save them to your Instagram board. But you're going to take the notes that you had written down from your closet edit to create your vision board. So think about what were the colors that you love most? What were the silhouettes that you love most? And what I mean by silhouettes is, do you prefer more fitted things, more structured, or drapey? Maybe you like a peplum. Maybe you feel most comfortable in your slim, straight trousers. Think about all of those details about each item that you kept in your wardrobe and the pieces that you really, really love. You also might notice you may have noticed some patterns and brands. There may be certain brands that really, really fit you well, or at least their styling resonates with you. And also think about celebrities and other professionals within your industry whose style you admire. That's a really great place, like, search a celebrity and write, like Charlize Theron style from 2020 or 2022 or something, and search those images and start pinning things like that. So you create this board. And then I recommend taking a step back from the vision board that you've created. You can revise and edit down. So once you see the whole picture, you can say, okay, I'm loving this, but I'm actually feeling like this item that I saved doesn't feel right. So take some time to edit down as well. And once you get your vision board to a place that feels really right for your personal style and feels like represents who you want to or how you want to present yourself, use this board for any future shopping, and use this board in getting inspiration when you're putting together outfits from your own wardrobe. And the fun part is filling in the missing pieces. I mean, it's all fun, but this is the shopping part. So obviously my favorite part. Okay, shop in style. I want you to go back to your vision board and I want you to see what items do you already own in your closet that you can create those outfits that you're really excited about. You may notice that there's a pattern of pieces on your vision board that you don't yet have, and that is where you would write down onto your wish list. You'll also go back to the wardrobe checklist that I'll be sending to you, and you'll look to see, are there any foundation pieces that I'm missing? For an example, you need more sleeveless blouses to layer effortlessly under a blazer, or, you need more ties to pair back to your favorite pink dress shirt. This is a great place to reference that checklist and see if there's items that you're missing. And also reference the notes that you made during the closet edit. Again, what were those common themes? What were your favorite pieces? And also acknowledge commonalities and items that you got rid of, because this is what you want to avoid buying in the future. A lot of times we get in habits of buying the same thing. It's just what we're used to. It's just what we know. And so we keep buying that item. And you may not be realizing that it's not your favorite piece, or it no longer makes you feel good in the way that it used to. So our intention is to add more of your favorite things that light you up, that make you feel inspired and really, really confident. Okay. So I'm going to answer, I know we have more questions, and I'm especially going to address the Zoom call first. So what you want to wear for Zoom is colors look really, really great. Or, like I have a lot of color on my wall. It's a little dark, so a white can really pop. White can also make you look a little bit more tan. But one thing I always say to avoid is any tops, like for women, any tops that are too scoop neck or too V-neck, because we actually don't see a whole lot of your torso typically in Zoom calls. So if something is low cut, we don't see a lot of that shirt, and it could seem like a lot more skin than you're actually showing. I also recommend, if you have some light accessories to add, that makes a difference, but nothing that's too like dangly or noisy, because that can be really distracting. But things to avoid would be colors that are really close to your skin tone, that are going to make you just not make you pop. And any other questions that have funneled through?
I think that I have caught up to everyone, but we can also go back, to the group if we want to do that, and see if there's any live questions. There's
a
few. Let's see. Just going to. Oh, here we've got, how often should one wear the same item of clothing?
That's also going to be a personal preference, because some people really want to have a capsule wardrobe and a minimal wardrobe, and that is 100% totally fine. So the number of times you wear it is going to be based upon how big or small you want your closet to be. Probably, unless it's a pair of pants, I would try to, rotate your shirts at least weekly, like not wearing the same shirt per week. I think 2 weeks in rotation for tops is a good place to be. But when it comes to things like your favorite pair of jeans or trousers that you really love and are comfortable, wearing those 3 times a week, maybe, as long as they're clean and have an opportunity to air out and refresh, there is nothing wrong with that. Okay. A good tip for shoes is try not to wear your shoes 2 days in a row, especially leather shoes, because you want to give time for the leather to breathe and air out and refresh. Back-to-back wear every single day is not good for a shoe. So if, it's your dress shoe that you typically wear to work every day, have a rotation, even if it's 2 of the same shoe.
That's a great point. Someone is asking, just generally speaking, is there a range for styling? Like how much it costs for you to help an individual style themselves?
Well, it depends if we're working together in person or virtually. Specifically for me, all of my prices are on my website if you want to go there. But it ranges from like $650 to $1,200, depending on if it's in person, if it's together, or Yes, in person or if it's virtual. And then if we're doing like a full seasonal shop.
And we did just post Carolyn's website in the chat. We will also send that to you as well. It is on our webpage. And I think someone asked a question that I need to go back to that said, any suggestions on how to match the color of clothing versus Zoom wallpaper?
Oh, interesting. I'm thinking when you say Zoom wallpaper, you mean like the digital wallpaper that you can make in the background?
Yeah, that's my guess as well.
Well, I probably wouldn't dress according to the wallpaper. Maybe I would choose the wallpaper based upon how I dress. But you want to focus on contrast. If you're wearing a solid shirt, you could probably do some wallpaper that's like fun and interesting in the background. If you're wearing a patterned shirt that has a lot more going on, and you also choose a background that has a lot going on, it's going to be kind of distracting. You're going to get kind of lost in the mix. So think about balance. Balance is good. You know, wearing a solid top, you're going to pop more against a busy background and vice versa.
Okay. And do you have another thought on that one?
Just a completely separate topic, but something I really recommend, or just a tip that I have, is how important fit is. Don't hesitate to find a great tailor, because it will make a world of difference in how your garments fit you. It will make a world of difference on how you look. So polished. Most often, if you buy a sport coat or a suit off the rack, it 99% should be tailored, whether it's the sleeve length or around your waist. It is highly unlikely that that item is fitting you as it should if you buy it off the rack. And so don't be afraid to get a tailor and visit them and make sure things are looking great.
Okay. And I love this question is, how often should we shop?
That's also a personal preference. And that comes down to what makes you feel good. Some people don't enjoy shopping, and so they want to do 2 big shops per year, once in the spring and once in the fall. And if that gives you the variety that you need and that supports your lifestyle, that is well and great. If you would rather do smaller shops more frequently, maybe it's 4 to 6 times a year, and then just like a little bit here and there as you need it. If you mean specifically with me, most of my clients that I work with, we shop seasonally, and we do 4 shops a year, and sometimes a little bit in between as needs arise.
Okay, great. Someone is saying when they purchase shoes, or rotate them, a lot of times they're comfortable that first time, but then the second time they seem to hurt, but then they're better again the third time. Is there a sense of maybe what might be happening? Do you have a sense?
It's best to go shoe shopping or try on shoes towards the end of the day, because throughout the day, your feet swell as you're on your feet and you're just doing doing things. So it's possible that you tried the shoe on in the morning when, your foot was a tiny bit smaller, and maybe the second day as you wore through it, or as you were wearing the shoe, your foot swelled a little bit, so it felt tight, but maybe by the third day it stretched out. That's possible. So what I recommend is definitely try the shoe on closer towards the end of the day, if possible. And just know a leather shoe will always stretch out just a little bit. Another tip for jeans is when you're jean shopping, you always want to buy them a little bit more snug than you want them to be, because they will always just grow just a little bit. And if you are shopping for jeans online and they ship to your home, I recommend wearing them in your home, maybe for 20 minutes with the tag still on, to see if it relaxes in those 20 minutes and if you still like how they fit and feel.
That is very pertinent advice. I have 2 pairs of jeans sitting over here that I got in the mail that I need to try on. So I am going to be using those 20 minutes this evening. Okay, Betty is asking, how do you get past getting rid of expensive things you bought that you just don't love if you don't want to deal with trying to sell it, right? You've paid a lot for something, but she's not wearing it anymore, but it was expensive. She says, should I just suck it up and let it go?
If it is not providing anything to you, you should let it go. If you're not wearing it, if you don't enjoy looking at it simply for, maybe the art piece that it is, you should let it go. Don't hang on to it just because you spent a lot of money on it. However, you still can sell it with minimal effort. If it's a designer piece, you can contact the RealReal and ask them you can send them a photo of it and say, can I sell this through you? Or you can send it to ThreadUp. The RealReal, depending on where you are, may pick it up from you. If it's ThreadUp, you basically create an account and let them know you want to sell things through them. They send you a shipping label. They can even send you a bag if you need it, but they'll send you a shipping label. You send the items directly to them. They'll either sell it for you and then give you the money, or if they choose, they're not going to sell it for whatever reason, they're not accepting that item, they'll either send it back to you or you can choose to have it donated. So there are so many opportunities for minimal effort for you to sell any gently worn pieces.
Very great advice. And it doesn't sound too difficult. And maybe you'll have less guilt, Betty, about getting rid of those expensive pieces. All right. I think we are caught up and it looks like we're approaching time as well. And there's so many, Carolyn, so awesome. Thank yous. And this was wonderful. And everyone is inspired. Comments in the chat. We have tons of them that have been popping up as I've been firing questions at you.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you for everyone for attending. And I love that you guys were so interactive and, sharing your questions with me. If you're interested in booking a consultation to learn more about how I work with my clients, please do that. You can go to my website at cmstyling.com. And my signature services are doing the closet edit, shopping and styling. And one of the best takeaways that my clients love is the digital wardrobe and lookbook, so that when I am not in front of you telling you what to wear, you have all that information right there on your phone. So that's been a really great value add for all of my clients. So you will have this presentation in your email with some supporting documents and lots of great info. So I hope that you guys can do the CLA Wardrobe Challenge. Please share your photos as you beautify your closet and get inspired.